Hey everybody, welcome to this month's Myth of the Month. This month we are looking at a story from ancient Egypt. A long, long time ago, the god Ra rose out of the water. He then created 4 other gods and goddesses: Shu, the god of air; Tefnut, the goddess of rain; Geb, the god of earth; and Nut, the goddess of the sky. Nut and Geb had a son named Osiris, who was made the first king or pharaoh of Egypt. Osiris was a wise king and kind ruler. He and his queen Isis were beloved by the people of Egypt. However, there was someone who wasn't happy with Osiris: his younger brother Set. Set was extremely jealous of Osiris's position and wanted to be pharaoh himself. Set had a plan to make that happen. Late one night, Set sneaked into Osiris's bedroom and carefully measured him. The next day, he took those measurements and had a gorgeous, elaborately decorated wooden chest made, just the right size for Osiris to fit in. Once the chest was complete, Set held a banquet for all of his friends and Osiris. They all had a great time feasting and playing games, and then at the end of the banquet, Set brought out the wooden chest. He announced that whoever could fully fit inside the chest would be able to keep it. All of Set's friends eagerly tried to squeeze themselves into the chest, but none of them could fit. Finally, it was Osiris's turn. He climbed in and fit perfectly, just as Set had planned. The sneaky god slammed the lid shut and sealed it, trapping Osiris inside. Set and his friends carried the chest to the Nile River and tossed it into the water. Surely no one would ever be able to survive that. And with Osiris now out of the way, Set took his place as pharaoh. The chest carrying Osiris's body traveled far along the river until it came to rest near the roots of a tamarisk tree. It stayed there so long that the tree grew itself around the chest, which ended up buried in its trunk. Isis was devastated when she heard of her husband's death. She immediately went to the river to search for the chest so that she could give Osiris a proper burial. She finally found the tree containing the chest, only to find that the king of Byblos had cut the tree down, having it made into a pillar for his palace. Isis retrieved the pillar and took it back to Egypt. Isis needed help preparing the body and performing the burial rituals, but she also didn't want Set to find him before she got back. Isis hid Osiris's body in the tall grass near the river and set off to gather her friends. Meanwhile, Set wanted to be sure that his brother was truly dead and gone, so he roamed the riverbank looking for the wooden chest. Eventually, he spotted the body in the grass. He was furious. He chopped Osiris's body into 14 pieces and scattered them all across Egypt. Surely, now no one would ever find him again. The next day, Isis and her friends arrived at the hiding place only to find the body missing. Isis was upset, but she was not deterred. She and her sister Nephthys searched high and low for the pieces of Osiris's body. Once they found a piece, they buried it in a secret place so that Set couldn't find them. Once they had recovered all but one of the pieces, they brought them to Anubis. Very carefully, they all reassembled Osiris, making the first mummy. They were able to revive Osiris, but he was no longer fully alive. Osiris said his goodbyes and traveled to the underworld, where he would become the god and king of the dead. Isis and Osiris had a son named Horus. He was born and kept in secret in a safe location to keep him away from his evil uncle Set. When he was old enough, Horus set out to confront Set, challenging him in revenge for his father's death and for the right to the throne. This confrontation varies from legend to legend. Set believed that he had the right to be pharaoh since he was Osiris's brother. However, most of the gods agreed that Horus was the rightful heir to the throne. However, Ra did not believe that Horus was old enough. To help make the final decision, the two participated in a number of trials, including a fierce battle. During the fight, they tried to outsmart each other. Set was tricky, but Horus was clever. Both were wounded in the battle, with Horus even losing an eye. In the end, Set transformed into a giant hippo, and Horus was finally able to defeat him for good. What happened to Set afterwards varies from tale to tale. In some, he died in the final battle with Horus. In others, the rest of the gods had him banished forever for his horrible deeds. In others still, Set was given a new role, protecting Ra's barge from monsters who dwelled in the sea of the sky. With no more room for doubt, Horus became pharaoh, reclaiming his father's throne and avenging his death. Thank you for joining us for this month's Myth of the Month, and we will see you next time.